And Newcastle United and Aston Villa make their way onto the pitch. Bruno leading out his teammates in white tracksuit jackets. Villa also wearing white training tops. Newcastle, no changes once again, so it's the same starting lineup for the 7th match in a row, as Jason Tindall and Unai Emery shake hands and have a little chat just in front of the benches. Away to our right-hand side, Alexander Isak will kick us underway shortly on a bright early evening in the West Midlands. Strong breeze, flags on top of the far stand of Villa Park blowing in the wind. Away section all on their feet, applauding the Newcastle players as Isak rolls it back to Fabian Schär, and we get underway here on BBC Radio Newcastle, the Newcastle United website and app, and BBC Sounds. Murphy's got it after Villa lose it on the near side. Tielemans then challenges and wins it on the Villa left, and McGinn on halfway, playing it forwards for the run of Watkins, tracked by, guess who? Sandro Tonali, who gets to the ball first and turns it clear into midfield. But Tielemans for Villa, and now Watkins with a deflected shot that goes in. Ollie Watkins, after 30 seconds for Aston Villa. No offside flag, and the break down the left eventually came back to Watkins, and Nick Pope, caught out by the deflection on the shot, dived the other way. Now Villa head forwards. Trippier and McGinn compete for the ball. It's gone backwards, and Watkins, edge of the area, fancies a go here. Ollie Watkins, he's had another try and hit the underside of the crossbar, and out it goes on the far side. The Newcastle throw.
What a hit.
Newcastle get accused of dark arts and wind-up behaviour. Aston Villa are pretty good at it as well. McGinn moves out of the centre. Tielemans clips the free kick in for the runner, who's Cash on the far side, and then Pope, after a deflection on the cross, turns it behind near post. Trippier behind the ball towards the middle of the box. Byrne rises, but Mings gets the header. Barnes collects. Wide on the left, Newcastle, in line with the edge of the box. Right-footed cross from Barnes, good one. Back post, Schär scores, yes, Fabian Schär. Well, in the opening minute, Schär deflected Ollie Watkins' shot into his own net, but the player who scored twice at that end of the ground for Newcastle last season repeats the trick this afternoon. A header from the deep cross from the left-hand side from Barnes, and Newcastle United are level. Their first attempt of the afternoon, and it's made it in the 18th minute. Aston Villa 1, Newcastle United 1.
It's a great ball, isn't it? Barnes just cuts inside the foot, whips it in. Just gets a march on the full-back. Schär just gets away from him. Good header down into the ground, through the legs of the goalkeeper.
And Marco Asensio to take it himself. Curls it into the middle of the box, and Watkins hits the post again. Watkins has hit the bar and the post and scored already this afternoon. Newcastle clear the immediate danger that we're so used to seeing. Up into the Aston Villa half, cuts back, gives it to Livramento on halfway. Newcastle coming forwards now with Joe Linton, left side of central midfield, swept over to Trippier. Murphy up the line. Jacob Murphy has it 20 yards out, lifts the cross to the far side of the box. Cash with a header. Joe Linton nods it out to Isak, who is left wing at the moment. Bruno drifts into centre forward as Isak gives it to Tonali, who has a try. Martinez, low down diving save. Corner Newcastle.
What a good hit. Daisy cutter, wasn't it? Just drilled it along the ground.
It's short into the middle to Rodgers, and then Rodgers tries to get it in behind for Marco Asensio. Dan Burn read that, covered well, played it to Bruno, and Murphy. That's a good ball for Isak, away right-hand side. Barnes in the middle. Isak stops it, cuts inside, taking on Maatsen into the box, gives it to Bruno, back again to Isak. The cross hit it now. Livramento blocked. Another chance for Livramento. Villa dispossess him And then Tonali makes a challenge. Tonali around the keeper, hits the floor. Nothing given for Newcastle. Play on, says Jared Gillett. Martinez picks it up. A go at Jared Gillett. Villa back to Martinez, rolled to Rodgers, loses out to Murphy, and then Bruno for Newcastle up towards Barnes, but Konsa was quick, steps into it and wins the ball, but then dispossessed by Bruno in the centre, turns and gets it up to Livramento. Good position this for United. Livramento into the box, back to Bruno, takes a touch and lifts it over the top. It needed
a scoop, isn't it? It's not really a shot, he's just scooped it.
It needed a better finish. He did so well, Bruno. Villa through Mings, pass it straight to Fabian Schär, now out to Trippier. Murphy getting forwards up this right-hand side, lifts it into the middle towards Isak. It was a dangerous ball near post. Villa do some defending, then get it clear through Maatsen, only as far as Murphy. Breaks into the box. Murphy back to Bruno. Challenge on Bruno. He's still going, trying to force his way through. Martinez comes out and gathers the ball. I did well, Bruno, to evade one challenge and then just keep going.
Yeah,
Exactly an hour played on BBC Radio Newcastle and the BBC Sounds app. Maatsen to Tielemans, and on halfway Kamara in the centre, into McGinn in the penalty area. McGinn saved by Pope, who stood big and blocked it with his right hand. Now Rodgers in the middle, straight at Pope in the centre of the goal.
McGinn should have done better. Just opened up, didn't it? How he got in there, I do not know. It's just drifted in there. Don't think Pope knows a great deal about it either. Just seems to come off his tie, doesn't it?
Yeah, Villa in behind looking for Watkins, but Burns stabs it clear. Had to get there. Bruno drops his shoulder and away from Yuri Tielemans, right side of central midfield. Isak in the middle of the box, and it's Trippier on the far touchline. Murphy behind him. Murphy gets it from Trippier, then returns it to the fullback. Bruno 30 yards from the goal to Joelinton, back to Bruno. It's opened up for him. Bruno Guimaraes still. Isak, low shot, straight.
Oh, chance
at Martinez. Bruno appealing for something, doesn't get it, but the chance for Isak.
Yeah, it was set up for him to come on and bend, wasn't it?
And he hit it inside of his right foot, but straight towards Martinez, centre of the goal. Ali Watkins for Aston Villa, releases Maatsen! Ian Maatsen has restored Aston Villa's lead on the break. Rolled in by Watkins, across Nick Pope, and into the far right corner of the goal. Villa to restart the match with the goal kick from Martinez. Trippier challenges with Ramsey, and it's the substitute straight on into the play and produces the ball, and the other substitute, Onana, the giant midfielder, on the left-hand side onto Watkins. Ramsey for Villa off the left wing into the penalty box, low cross. Oh, Pope is beaten at the near side, and it's Tielemans who celebrates, and that might well put the game beyond Newcastle United. Around, or just get back and leave Villa Park with anything other than a defeat. It could get worse. Tielemans edge of the box. Rodgers beats his man. Pope, massive save. Livramento heads away from the goal line. Villa still on the attack. Onana! Well, if 3 wasn't enough, 4 will definitely do it for Aston Villa. And this has very quickly got away from Newcastle United. Amadou Onana smacks the ball into the top of the net. A bit of space, no space for a shot. Instead, it's a pass to Joelinton on the right wing. Here's cross, Willock. Well, that's a header on by Joe Willock that didn't test the goalkeeper. Very shortly blow for full time, which he does. This week started with 2 huge victories at home against Manchester United and Crystal Palace, but Newcastle United couldn't continue with a result here against Aston Villa.